again, folks, and welcome back to what is the final pickups video of 2021. So it's always a bit of a sad occasion when we reach the end of another year, but we have added so many amazing games into the collection this year, and I just know it's going to get even easier and even better next year. Fingers crossed. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the final pickups of 2021. Of course, this time it is nearly Christmas. What you may not know, this week was also my birthday, so one of the main gaming gifts I got from my wife was this copy of River City Girls on a Nintendo Switch from Limited Run. So we all know Limited Run games, they get more and more expensive, especially as you miss them. This was one I never got my pre-order in, only kind of discovering the game after they've done the orders. So this is one that was really cool to add into the collection, as this one especially is jumping up in price. The cool thing about this, of course, is that you get the cartridge as well as a full colour instruction book, which I think is something that we just do not have as much these days. But that's not all, as we have some other really cool River City Girls merchandise. Of course, as the game was released through Limited Run, we get the Limited Run trading card. It is a silver. These are surprisingly expensive these days. This one is roughly about £20 to £30 on eBay. But you know, if you're buying Limited Run games, you always want to try and get the card. So then we also have some other exclusive bits. So firstly, we have this pin, which was exclusively at PAX, limited edition 1000. Also, these other trading cards, which are still sealed, which are also exclusive to PAX. They were limited edition of 1000, and also if you've played this game, you'll know it has an amazing soundtrack, so it's really cool to add the soundtrack CDs. So all these bits together make a really nice River City Girls collection. But wait, there is more Limited Run stuff coming up. You guys know I always say it's always a good day when you get a Limited Run game. And also this week I finally got my delivery of Sam & Max Save the World. This was one that actually got lost during shipping, so it's really good I finally managed to get it again. A lot of people seem to moan about the customer services of Limited Run, but they've been nothing but good from me. I've had cards go missing, they've replaced them, and this game, as well as the slipcase for the free games that are coming up, also went missing. So both of these were really good ones to add into the collection. So I'm really looking forward to the next one, Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space and Sam & Max in the Devil's Playhouse, which I presume will all be coming up on Limited Run next year. They can all fit into this really nice slipcase. So I've mentioned Limited Run trading cards quite a few times before, so I thought we'd have a look through my binder of trading cards. So I normally tend to just pick up cards for the games I buy, but sometimes if I see them cheap on eBay, I will pick them up, as they basically average between about £5 to £10 per card. So if I can pick them up for less than that, I'm definitely going to be picking them up. So a lot of these ones are the older ones for games I do not have. You can see there the Shantae Game Boy Color card is actually a gold, as well as I do have a couple of doubles, such as that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World there, as well as another Scott Pilgrim vs. the World gold card. So I think it's really cool that Limited Run do these trading cards, because I really am a sucker for any little collectibles. I look forward to adding more into my collection. Of course, with Limited Run games, the main draw of buying them is the fact they are limited. There's only a short release window, and if you miss out, you're going to be paying through the nose for extra copies. But when is a Limited Run game not a Limited Run game? When it gets a full release. Recently they've been doing this a lot with the Star Wars games, such as the Jedi Knight series. So you can kind of look at this in two ways. If you're kind of a mean, tight-fisted collector, you're probably going to hate it, as it means more people get copies of the game. But when they released this game on Limited Run, it was two separate discs, one for Jedi Knight and one for Jedi Knight 2. So this one I actually picked up through Curry's PC World, which also leads on to another story. So they will always price match their games. So this was up on Curry's website for $42.99, but on Shop2 it was around £25. So I just rang them up and managed to get this copy for a lot less. The other way I actually got this for a lot less is I got this using Microsoft points. And every day I will go on my Xbox and do little tasks to get Microsoft points, such as rewards and surveys and things like that. As well as getting points for getting achievements and doing in-game challenges, you can also get them for doing surveys on your mobile. These are all super quick, they only get you small amounts of points, but these points do slowly build up, especially when you get on a big streak like I have over 200 days, and as well as some of the bigger challenges where you do 2 or 3 things to kind of get a bigger challenge completed. It's a very easy way to build up some free points you can spend on games. Essentially then, I actually got this game for free. But bear in mind, some of those little surveys do only get you 10 points. This was 37,500 points for this game. But for something, if you're playing games anyway, it only takes about 5 or 10 minutes a day. And you know, I'm one of those guys, if I can get a game for free, I will go out of my way to get it. So Star Wars game, £25 for free is a win in my book. It's always awesome to get some boxed NES games, and this one is in incredible condition. So this is the Bugs Bunny Blowout. This is for the NES from 1990, and just look at the amazing condition this box is in. It is of course complete with the cartridge. It's kind of your classic 8-bit side-scrolling platform game, but just getting any NES game fully boxed is so good in 2021. This may not be the greatest game of all time, but just condition-wise is a really good one to add into the very small boxed NES collection. But that is not the end of the vintage boxed games for this week's video. Also this week I managed to pick up a game which has a very special place in my heart, and that's F-Zero X Maximum Velocity for the Game Boy Advance. And that is because when I picked up my Game Boy Advance years and years ago from Toys R Us, it was this game as well as Super Mario Kart Super Circuit which I got with the console. So 2 racing games on launch day, but this one is always one of my favourites, and I definitely think we need to get F-Zero X brought back as a franchise. Also, this box is in absolutely amazing condition, and boxed Game Boy Advance games are definitely getting harder to come by, so really glad to add this one into the collection. Speaking of boxed Game Boy Advance games, we have the first of 2 boxed wrestling games to add to the collection this time. The first of which is WWE Survivor Series for the Game Boy Advance. So it's definitely one of the more obscure titles, and especially because it's for the Game Boy Advance, it's always harder to get them boxed and complete. So the box is in fairly decent condition, but you know me, if you've been watching the channel, which I hope you have for a while, you'll know I'm going for a complete WWE and WWF game collection, so this is a good one to knock off that list. When we are talking about vintage boxed games, the very best and the one I'm always looking for is boxed N64 games. There is just something about boxed N64 games that just fills my heart with such joy. And one of my favourite games back on the N64 was Duke Nukem 64. I put so many hours into that game, playing it in split screen with friends. It was such a good game. But that was not the only Duke Nukem game on the N64, and this time I've added Duke Nukem 0 Hour complete in the box for the N64. So this was a game I never actually played back in the day. I think it came out quite late in the lifespan of the N64 and also needed the expansion pack, which I personally never had and still do not actually have, so it's definitely one I need to pick up. So this is actually a little bit different than Duke Nukem 64, as in this is a third-person game. So this is one I said I've never played before, so really looking forward to jumping on this one. But let me know in the comments below, are you a fan of the Duke Nukem games? And if there's any hidden gems I haven't played, please let me know which ones I need to play. We've come to the end of the video, and it is a bit of a solemn ending, but I really want to end this year on a bang, this being the final pickups video of 2021. So I've said multiple times, even in this video, how I'm aiming for a full WWE and WWF games collection. I've also mentioned many times before how much I love collecting boxed N64 games, even in this video. And as we all know, the greatest N64 wrestling game, and perhaps wrestling game ever, is of course WWF No Mercy, and I have finally added this complete in the box in absolutely fantastic condition into the collection. There is not much I can say about this game which has not been said before. This game came out all the way back in the year 2000. That is 21 years they have not managed to beat the absolute perfection of wrestling games that this is. 21-year unbeaten streak. I think even The Undertaker would be proud of that. There is not much I can say about this game. It has an amazing roster. It has an amazing ladder match. It's so balanced. The moves are perfect. It's just such a good game. If you are a wrestling fan, a fighting game fan, an N64 fan, or even a gamer, you owe it to yourself to play this at least once. I'm so glad to finish the year adding this in to my collection. There we have it then, the final pickups of 2021 finishing with that amazing copy of WWF No Mercy. So I really appreciate everyone who's watched my videos this year. I hope you've really enjoyed them. If you did enjoy the video, please remember to hit a like and subscribe, as I put new videos out every Saturday. And next Saturday will be none different. Even though it's Christmas Day, I'll be putting out a very special video. So stay tuned for that, 3 PM on Christmas Day. Thanks again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And as always, keep playing the game. See y'all soon.